sorry about the technical issues. Hopefully you can hear me now. I guess I've just got to wait for people to jump back on again. So sorry about that. So I'll start off again. I'm Avril and I am a integrative nutrition health coach. And hi Larissa, hi Alison, hi Sandra. Sorry for the technical issues. So, what an integrative nutritional health coach is, we basically look at your health on a holistic level and an integrative level. So, how everything affects your health and wellness. It's not just the food that you ingest, we actually see that as your secondary food. And your primary food is your relationships and your spirituality, your career, your finances, all of those sorts of things, and how everything in what we call the wheel of life, how all of that plays and has an impact on how you function and how you respond to things going on around you. So I'm on tonight to talk to you about energy, which is one of my passion subjects, as I suffered from burnout about 3 years ago in my corporate role, and push through. It was high level, highly stressful role, and without a lack of support around you, it turned out pretty awful. But I soldiered on and kept going because my primary focus was doing the right thing and looking after the businesses that I was looking after, because I cared. And didn't look after myself first, which I was trying to do, but just with all of the commitments that I had with travelling, at least once a month. Most of the time it was every second week. Sometimes it was every week because I looked after companies that were national. So I had to travel around every state. But anyway, enough about that and my story. That part of the story. It then led me to start searching for answers for my own health and how I could improve it. Not getting any answers from the doctors and things like that. Just the usual low in iron, which has always been a problem ever since before puberty, and a lot of other things that weren't coming up in my blood tests. So I knew food had a huge impact. So I started on my whole food journey, and then once learning more and more, I became more intrigued about nutrition and the role it plays in all the different areas of your body. So then I started studying based around nutrition. So I learnt all about nutrition and all of the dietary theories. So over 100 dietary theories, whether it be paleo or, all those sorts of things. And to basically have a broad knowledge of all of the things that people are dealing with and being overwhelmed with. And my role is not necessarily to prescribe things. There is times when that's needed in terms of cleanse protocols and things like that, but I don't prescribe herbs or any medications or any vitamins or anything like that. I will always send you off to your normal practitioner for those sorts of things. And I basically give you the tools to help to figure things out for yourself, and lead you through your health journey, and find out what are the different things that are having an impact, and also small tips and tricks you can do to help. So energy, back to a bit of my story. From suffering from burnout, I then, as I said, I pushed through, and that long ongoing journey, not listening to my body, still trying but not quite doing the right things, which I wasn't aware of. It then led to adrenal fatigue because my stress levels were so high, suffering from high anxiety and depression at the same time. So it's a great mix to have at once. Yeah, and I was surviving on coffee, Coke, energy drinks, just anything to just keep me awake and keep me going. Little did I know they were all the worst things to be doing. I sort of knew they were, but, obviously through my studies, I definitely learnt they were the worst things to be doing. And I'm a huge coffee lover, so that was one thing I really didn't want to give up. I did give up soft drinks and I will, Sandra. So the one thing with adrenal fatigue is from the high level stress for so long, the flight or flight, you need to, the key thing is not drink coffee on an empty stomach. You don't want to be doing that first thing in the morning because coffee is a stimulant and it's fake energy. So it kicks the adrenal glands straight into fight or flight because it's a stimulant. So first thing in the morning, just don't skip your coffee. You can still have it afterwards, but you want to nourish your body first. So you want to get good fats and protein into your body first thing in the morning, which will not trigger your adrenals to go into overdrive, and then you can have your coffee afterwards. What I've now transitioned to is not having coffee but only having decaf, and making sure it's an organic water filtered decaf. So I'm pretty sure all organic coffee will be water filtered, but just need to double check that. Yeah, no coffee on an empty stomach. Another thing that helps with your energy is hydration. So we all know that coffee being a diuretic, and anything with caffeine really is going to dehydrate you. So reducing the amount of coffees you're having, not the 4 before 9, which I was doing. And I'm talking instant. I'm not talking, your proper barista coffees. I definitely would have been wired for the rest of the day, but I was having 2 cans of these as well a day. I'd have one in the morning on the way to work and then one in the afternoon on the way home, so I could then have that energy to keep me going with the kids, because I've got young kids, so they're a little bit older now, but primary school age, and it was a real struggle. So the hydration thing is really important, because one of the symptoms of being dehydrated is lack of energy. And so I know we all talk about hydration, but it is really, really important. The other thing is, like I said before, the proteins and your good fats. So like your avocados, your coconut oil and things like that. What else? Obviously your sugars, because that's another artificial energy stimulant. So and sugar is hidden everywhere, and it's such a big topic. It's like I could do a whole webinar just on sugar. There's so many different levels to it. And you really just want to make sure that, you know, not only through what you're drinking and what you're eating, you're really concentrating on nourishing your body and the things in your body that produce energy. So and make sure that they're all converting energy correctly. Another one is not exercising or over exercising. So I started living a stagnant life as well, because I was working from home a lot. So this period that we're in really would have suited me if I was still working. But now I'm doing my own thing, so I get to set the rules. Sorry, I'm just reading Andrea's question. Any tips on stop stress eating? I remove all temptations, but it's a massive mental thing for you. Okay, so hydration, water, making sure you're drinking water. If you're feeling hungry, have a glass of water, and it will tell you whether it's more an emotional thing or whether you are really, really hungry. I have a problem with, you know, reaching for the wrong snacks and things like that. That's because they're available, but that's a whole nother level, Andrea, and we'd have to go into a whole lot of things and working out why you feel you need to fill that gap. I'm happy to talk to you offline on that one. Yes, Sandra, yeah. And the other thing that makes a difference is your gut health as well, with your energy. So that's, again, you know, that's 90% of all disease comes from gut health. I'm now finding with the adrenal fatigue, because that also went on for so long, it's now looking like it's turned into Hashimoto's, which if I don't get under control, which I'm starting to, and have done successfully, because all my blood results are starting to turn back around and go the other way. If I don't look after that, it could turn into hypothyroidism, which actually runs in my family as well. So I was already keeping an eye out on it. But with the gut health, we've got so many different bacteria, and there are some, they've all got a different function, and some actually, when they're in, some of the bad ones aren't always bad. It's just when they get in overgrowth that they're bad, because they stop other things functioning and absorbing properly and things like that. That's another complex issue. I'm studying a gut health course at the moment, but I just wanted to give a quick overall rundown of a few different things, and the other two big factors is being too stressed. Hello. Lived that, and not getting enough sleep. So if you are suffering from adrenal fatigue, or if these things do sound familiar, one thing you need to do is actually go to bed at 9:30 at night, because your body does most of its repair before midnight. So you need to make sure that you're getting a proper sleep, and for a decent amount of time as well, at least 8 hours. I know people say between 6 and 7 and between 7 and 8, but I would say at least 8 hours. Yeah, stress it's amazing, Sandra, how many things go off in your body as a result of stress, and you don't always see it straight away. You know, some of us function. I used to think I functioned better at a higher stress level, but you know, when it goes on for so long, it just does so much damage and in so many areas. The other thing with sleep was through my journey, I also discovered that I suffer from sleep apnea. So that's now under control as well, and I'm getting more consistent sleeping with, you know, plenty of oxygen and breathing correctly and everything like that. So, and what else? I think that's the general quick tick off of all the main things. So my main bit of advice is, if you are lacking energy, cut out the false energy producers. So the caffeine and the sugar. Do it slowly. Don't do it overnight. Anything that's going to be maintained long term is maintained through small changes. So even if it's just trying to get nourishment into your body before having that first cup of coffee, that's the first thing you do this week type thing. Make sure you can maintain it without introducing another, if you're not comfortable, and then introducing going to decaf and reducing it down. Don't do it straight away, because then you get, you know, the awful caffeine headache withdrawals. You know, just reduce it by switching out 1 cup a day with decaf or a herbal tea. Another great replacement, I'm not a typical tea drinker, but I do like my herbal teas, is... oh, I've had a mental blank. There's a really great dandelion root, sorry. Yeah, so that is quite bitter, and you don't have it with milk, you just have it plain black, and that is a great replacement for coffee, the coffee taste as well. It's a really good fit. I also have a talk coming up this Friday, a webinar, which goes into more detail around all of these different bits of tips and tricks with nutrition and food and all the things that I've discussed. And that's free to join, and Sandra will have her own link to be able to share with you guys, and yeah, I hope to see you all there. Does anyone else have any more questions before I sign off? Yeah, I love dandelion root. It's my go-to if I try and cut out dairy. I've tried switching out for other nut milks, and yeah, dandelion's just lovely. Okay, I might finish it off there. Thank you, Sandra, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and hope to see you on Friday as well, or just in Sandra's group for the rest of the week. Great. Thanks, guys.